Good morning, everyone. I am back for another video. Today's video is going to be a little bit different than what we do here on my channel. I know that I'm primarily a makeup artist and I love to do beauty tutorials and share products that I'm trying out and loving, but today I wanted to do a 2016 recap. Everything that happened to me this year and everything that I learned, in the hopes that if you guys are maybe going through something really similar, maybe my story and how I dealt with things and how I moved forward will help you guys. So grab a cocktail if you need one. I know I do, because sometimes for me personally, when I rehash things that made me feel upset, I start to feel some of those emotions over again. So I'm not even gonna lie, it is 9:47 a.m. and I have a vodka and orange juice. So don't feel bad because it's 5 o'clock somewhere. Okay, so 2016 for me was a big, gigantic roller coaster. Probably, all the way from January, and it's the last week of December. Everything has just been very up and down. I've had some peak times and I've had some really low points. So we'll probably just start off. My first lesson that I learned this year was knowing when to let go. Now, I feel like that can apply to a lot of things in our life, right? So that can apply to people that have not been treating you very fairly. That can apply to, a job. It can really it's applicable to anything. So for me, at the beginning part of the year, I was dating someone and I thought everything was going well, probably up until right after, my birthday, which is February 11th. Things just started to go south, and there was a point to where we had gotten into a big fight and I was ignored for 4 days and told that it was my fault. I was like, okay, well, normal people, if you're in a relationship with someone, you would want to at least talk to them about it and figure out, what's going wrong. Like, just break up if you need to break up, if there's a communication barrier or you guys just aren't happy anymore. So that was my first really bad thing. I would say bad, but at the end of the day, some of the bad things or negative things that happen to us, they happen to us for a reason, so that we can learn a lesson. So I definitely learned a big lesson out of that one, just knowing when to let go. Dating in this day and age is so hard because of social media and the way that people are meeting, and certain people just not wanting commitment. It's really rough, but I do think you have to know when to let go when it's not right, and also to just know when someone's not showing you the respect that you deserve, because you should be respected. So that was probably the first big thing. And then later on, actually this next thing that kind of happened to me was something that was ongoing from the previous year as well. I definitely, when I got my new job, which was medical sales, it came with a huge pay raise. And I was so excited because for most of my life I've been a dance teacher and, just a makeup artist on the side. And, it was good money. Like, I'm single, I just have a dog, so I'm definitely surviving and happy and getting to shop and do the things that I want. But this was a really significant, oh my God. Mocha, stop it! Oh, my dog, come here. Come here. What are you eating? Okay, guys, I know you've probably seen her in one video, but you're gonna have to meet her now because come here. This is my dog, Mocha. She likes to eat my shoes. She learned how to get out of her kennel. She can open doors. She's a boss. And right now she's chewing on my expensive pair of 9 West shoes. So I had to call her over here. You want to say hi to the camera? Okay. All right, sorry, so we'll get back on track. So like I was saying, this next thing that was a really big learning experience for me was helping out someone that I really cared about, and at the end of it, I just ended up being taken advantage of, and that was really frustrating. So my medical sales job came with a pretty big pay raise, so I had extra money. It wasn't a big deal. I was actually really happy to do it. It makes me feel good to give back to people that don't have the things that you have. I think it's very humbling, and it warmed my heart. It made me very happy and made me feel needed and necessary. So that happened, and then throughout the course of the year, I just felt even more and more taken advantage of by this person. And I wish that at the moment that I felt taken advantage of, that I would have just cut everything off. But I didn't. I let it keep going, and it's actually still going on, and I'm going to start putting an end to it today and tomorrow. So I would say that if you have a gut feeling like you are being lied to, someone is saying mean things about you behind your back, and that they're just overall taking advantage of you, then I would just say you have to cut that situation off. I've let it go on for 6 months, maybe even up to a year, and it doesn't get any better. It actually just keeps getting worse, and it makes you feel worse. So now I have a huge burden of past things that are on me that I'm going to end up most likely having to take care of because I put my name out there for someone and they're not holding up their end of the bargain. So that was another big lesson. And then I would say I've had to cut myself off from certain people this year. For me to be successful and for me to be where I'm at today, I couldn't have done that with having these other people in my life. There was a lot of negativity and a lot of mean things being said that I would find out later on, and I actually let it go on for quite a while. I knew it was going on. I just didn't really feel like fighting anymore. I just wanted to let it go and just pretend like everything was okay. You know, it's kind of like social media. You just see the highlights. So everyone just assumes that everything is all good, everyone's happy, everyone's getting along, when on the inside I'm seeing backlogged text messages about people saying that, you know, I've changed and that I'm different, which is actually a compliment to me because I used to take everything laying down. I used to let everybody talk about me, and I would just say, you know what? It's not a big deal. I know I'm not that person. And now I'm a little bit more like, hey, you can't say things about me, or you can't talk to me like that. That makes me uncomfortable. So there was a group of people that I did have to kind of separate myself from, and a lot of it was due to negativity and like backstabbing. And I honestly don't think I could be where I'm at today without taking a little bit of a break from that part of my life. And that's necessary sometimes. I don't think we can move forward and have a positive attitude and wake up every day and be ready to go if you have someone constantly behind you saying mean things, hurting your feelings, doing mean things. You know, it's a lot. It's a lot. So I would definitely say that if you have people in your life that are causing you pain and are causing, you know, negativity and to make you come down on yourself, then I think it's healthy to take a break from those people. So that's probably all the personal things wrapped up in a couple of lessons, and that probably went on for probably up through July, August. After that, things got a little bit better for me because I had cut myself off from drama. I was hanging out with new people. I found a new church, which was wonderful, and I had a new friend come into my life. Her name is Pamela, and I met her when I was still teaching, and she introduced me to this new church in Houston called Hope City, and so that was a very positive thing for me because I felt like it kind of catapulted me forward in my faith. And it's amazing. I'm actually going to church tonight, and it's Saturday, so I'm excited. So the big thing that happened to me was a big career change. And that's really scary because, you know, for the past 5 years, I've worked for one person, you know, and I've moved on to another one of his companies. So I was working for, you know, a teaching company and a medical sales company at the same time, and I was very happy. But things started to take a turn over the summer. If any of you guys have been watching my channel since I started, this past summer, I was kind of back and forth between Houston and Nashville working on getting new business set up. And while I was all smiles and it was all fun, and I actually filmed a video in my hotel room, there was a lot of stress involved. There was a lot of pressure on me, you know, to close deals, and I was doing the absolute best that I could. And sometimes, you know, when you're not an executive, I'm just like an account manager. I kind of handle the accounts day to day. I set up the offices with their lab testing. And it's hard, you know, because you can't really have the financial conversations that someone necessarily wants you to have, because I'm not comfortable doing that without a background in that. And, you know, especially I don't want to get any information wrong because then it can come back on me. So that was really hard, and I ended up finding a clinic, and they had 6 different locations over rural Tennessee, and it was fun. It was kind of like an adventure driving to all these little towns. I mean, it was probably like a 3.5-hour route, I think, between all of them and getting them all set up. But the major problem with that was that I had stopped getting a salary from that company. And so, you know, I went back to just getting a teacher salary versus making my full salary. And, you know, the rationale was behind that was that they said that I wasn't bringing on any money. But yet, even though I wasn't before, I had other doctors that were sending in Houston, I was still getting a salary. So that was a lot of stress because at that point, I was still helping out someone else. I had all my bills, and I'm a single girl. You know, I didn't have someone else's income coming in to like kind of help. So that was really frustrating. And, you know, I felt like I always had the company's best interest at heart. Instead of flying up there, you know, each time I needed to go, out of the 4 times that I went, I drove my own vehicle, and, you know, I cut the company's costs in half for me coming up there, and I was happy to do so because I wanted the company to be successful. I wanted to get these doctors sending, and I wanted everything to be great for everybody. And at the end of the day, finding out that, you know, most of my commissions from the previous year had been stolen by that person was heartbreaking because I wanted to trust them. You know, and I was actually counting on that to help me and, you know, and help me with the finances from, you know, me helping out someone else. It would have been great and life-changing for me, and, you know, but at the end of the day, back in the end of October, I had this gut feeling. I just knew. I said, you know, it's been 4 or 5 months that this has been a huge stress on my heart and on me, and I've still been working to the best of my potential, but I can't mentally keep doing what I'm doing because I'm so stressed out. Every time I go into work, every time I try to have a meeting, I feel like I cannot present as well because I'm so stressed out. So at the end of October, I did one final call, and I had decided, I said, if this call doesn't work, if this is not what I'm supposed to be doing, God, please show me a sign. Please make it so overly, abundantly clear that this is not where I need to be. And I remember going into that doctor's office, and I remember just thinking like, oh gosh, this is going to be horrible. But something came over me, and I was able to present pretty well. I was able to answer questions, and actually that is how I ended up moving on into my new career, because this person introduced me to someone they were working with, and now I work in the OR as a spinal surgical sales rep. So at the end of the day, I think I ended up getting rerouted to where I needed to be. The opportunity is great. It's way better than where I was before because I know that, you know, I'm not going to be stolen from, which is awesome. I'm actually going to get paid, which is even better. And there's a lot of great people in this organization. So, yeah, that's a broad spectrum of everything. You know, I kind of want to keep everyone's identities, you know. So I know that was kind of a generalization. I don't want to use any names or call anyone out specifically because I do know that everyone knows who they are. If they're a part of this, if they end up watching this, you do know who you are and you know what you did, and it's cool. Everything's all good now. But I think that sharing, you know, these things that have happened to me over the course of the last 12 months could hopefully help someone else that might be dealing with that situation. You know, always know when to let go of, you know, boys that aren't treating you right, people that aren't treating you right, and jobs that are not giving you what you are promised. You know, especially if you have a signed agreement, then it's time to start looking somewhere else. And also, I would say this, to still be open to giving. Like, I'm still going to be open to giving even though I know I've been taken advantage of by one person over the past year. It's not going to deter me from wanting to give. There's still lots of charities, and I'll still want to give in church and things like that. I wouldn't say, I think people are flawed, and I think that, you know, that's okay. We all have our lessons that we learn, but also don't put yourself in that situation again if that person has hurt you, because I definitely will never, ever, ever do that again. So I know this is kind of might be considered, you know, like kind of a Debbie Downer video, but this is kind of just my 2016 recap. And I'm so excited to go into 2017 with everything that I've learned, with a new career, great people by my side, a great church that I can attend. I feel like the opportunities are endless when you have a great positive when you have a positive group of people around you that are willing to teach you and mentor you, and you have to remember to stay hungry and to keep learning and to read and to really research and throw yourself into the new career as much as you can. So that's all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching. Please comment below if you guys are going through a similar situation. I would love to offer any advice that will be possible. And I will be back in 2017 with a brand new makeup tutorial. Bye.